Welcome, sisters and brothers in arms. We honor those who follow the old, nearly forgotten, code of honor. Our metal we wear proudly, like the scars we earn to keep our magnificent sovereignty. Our reverence to each other is only matched by our incorruptible allegiance to our morality and ideals. Warrior kings and queens sit blooded in thrones of shattered bones. Lives are but fragile drops of rain. We all fall down vehemently, yet we remain inevitable. For truth to victory, for honor infinitely, we uphold the code and embody it with a quality example. We are mighty. We are unwavering. We are inexorable.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. We have a great guest this evening. It's going to be Rick Bonilla, formerly from Image Comics. Now, if you remember back in the 90s, the Atomic Mike comics from Image, Rick Bonilla was the artist on that project, and he's been doing independent commissions ever since and doing shows. He works for us over at Cornerstone Creative Studios. My boy Jesse's actually in the chat. He mentioned he was going to be here to watch us, so Rick's done a bunch of work for us. He's actually working on a cool dragon piece, a character that is a black dragon that I wrote for Cornerstone a few years back when I did the Kerr story. So Kerr of the Nexus revolves around a black dragon spirit that lives in an extra-dimensional space. In reality, in all realities, connected to all. And so it's pretty interesting how we can get into abusing the power of such a thing, which is very cool. Knowing all realities simultaneously is pretty cool power. So Vax is an awesome character. He's going to be a lot of fun, and he's in the opener series, Kerr the Nexus and the Immortal Lion. Rick's going to be jumping in a few. He needed an extra 15 minutes or so. So he's running a little bit late, but we're just going to go ahead and run this live. I'm very excited. If you saw the opener, Griftergate lives. Griftergate 2020. We've been labeled grifters, and a lot of guys who are indie, I feel, don't get the credit that they deserve. As far as a grifter, I think that independent is absolutely the most honest way to sell comics. There are no middlemen, and there's no corporate fingers in the pot. You are creating, and your team is creating with you, and you're giving a book directly to the customer. So there really isn't anything more honest than that, and that's what I love about it. Independence is the way to go. I think that it's raw and true, free creativity, creative expression, and so it's definitely a beautiful thing. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Cornerstone Creative Studios rock. Rick does rock. His artwork is fantastic. We've got some of his artwork here. I've showed it on live streams before, but I'll go ahead and just give a little peek into some of his handiwork before Rick jumps in. Yeah, right here. Yeah, we jumped in. This is your handiwork too. Thanks, Jesse, for working with me on this. Jesse and I worked together to make this. This was a cost-effective, a 22 pager that we did. We added a few pinups here, custom pinups to promote my titles here, just to fill it in. But it's 22 pages of the work that I've done for the preview work that I've done for the studio. But here we go. I mean, we've let's see if we can get in a little bit closer. Yeah, I mean, his line work's fantastic. This is beautifully done. Absolutely above and beyond this is the standard of comics, mainstream comics all day long. You buy mainstream comics that don't look like this, have this level of detail, and colors are beautifully done. Love it. This is such a fun series of pages, and I love Rick's line work. It's exciting. This is probably, I love this panel right here. I could look at this all day here with Vax flying in. Now you notice he's not black here, and in the story he's a white dragon that's slain and is banished to the Nexus. The Nexus is a prison for evil spirits for all realities, and these the celestial beings created it, and so it's definitely a very cool story. And so Vax the Devourer here. We have a beautiful fight scene in the beginning of the book. We brag the longest dragon fight scene in all comics in the first issue. We've got 4 issues written in the series, and eventually it will lead to a path into the rabbit hole into the dark unknown. And Kerr's a fantastic fantasy hero. He's the hero of this alternate Earth where he's fighting. But I love this scene where he's taking his jacket off and he's waiting for the dragon to fly in. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I love that artwork. Let's see if I can get out of it. Jeez, see, I zoomed in. I couldn't get out of it. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I loved it too. Let's see. Oh, you showed me a sneak at the Vax piece with the curries on. I got a little sneak peek when we were talking. We were talking in Twitter DM before the show here, and he showed me a little sneak. I know he's working on it right now, Jesse. So, yeah, and it's looking sharp. It's looking sharp. Oh, awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. I love the pages that Rick did. He's a brilliant artist, and so I can't wait to see more from him. And we're going to see more. Before he gets in here, him and I have been talking about a piece for my campaign, and we want to commemorate the Grifter King, and we want to do it right. So what we're going to do is have Rick. He's going to draw us a poster piece. I'm thinking it's going to be thrown in an apocalyptic world. I see myself sitting in the throne with a cigar and a bottle of beer and reading a comic book with my leg up on the arm of it, on a pile of skulls, the skulls of the unworthy, and then there's going to be Vax the dragon in the background, and then I'm thinking we're going to do pillars of salt. We're going to have people. I think we should do it as a tier where people can pay and be drawn in as a pillar of salt if they want. It'll be super reasonable. Like just for we have a humble campaign here. Like we're gonna make it super reasonable so you can get drawn in. We might even do like some Centurion warriors if you'd like to be drawn in as a Centurion warrior for the new king of the demolished world. Then we could do that. We'll try to figure out something to do that's fun with it so that we can get people added in. But it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun. And so we'll have the raw pencils and inks of the base piece, and then we'll have lots of room so that we can draw people in. And if people aren't interested in the tier, it's cool. Everybody will still get the poster. But we'll just do some cool stuff with it. We'll just take some people. I'll just pick some people that I like and just have them drawn in. So yeah. So we'll come up with something good. We'll do something all right with it. We'll get you guys something awesome. We always do. My guys deliver, and so and they're Jesse's guys, but they're my guys too. We're all friends, man. These guys are like family. Honestly, like Cornerstone Creative Studios is more family than probably 95% of my family. So yeah, so these are my guys. And so yeah, I was talking with I was talking with Dheeraj too the other day. He said that he was going to start his piece. He's doing a variant cover for the campaign. So this is for Hayward Saints 8. We're going to have we're gonna have Baby Mammoth Monk, and we're gonna have the girls of Authorbomb books. We're gonna have the characters from uh, Hayward Saints 8. We're gonna have Meteor Marley in there. And we're gonna have Hayward Saint himself, and so we're gonna have him draws beautifully. And if you guys don't know who he is, he's a member of Cornerstone Creative Studios, but he also worked for Dark Horse, and he worked for IDW, and he worked for Brian Pulido. He did Lady Death, probably did 14 issues of Lady Death, contributing to him becoming a millionaire now. So, and his work was phenomenal. So we're very happy to have him working on. He's a very talented guy. And I've got a couple other guys that are lined up too. We're kind of slow rolling them out, but we've got some cool stuff on. I've got Paris. Oh yeah, Paris confirmed too for the Ash Can. And what we'd like to do is we can't afford on a humble campaign to give you an Ash Can with your purchase. This is going to be a 48-page double issue. So you're going to get 48 pages of artwork, the first 2 issues of Hayward Saints 8 and 1 graphic. But what we'd like to do is if we could hit a number, I want to say it's going to be a higher number than a reasonable number, but we'll figure it out. But we want to give you an Ash Can as well, which is going to be a 22-page with some original pages by Paris. He wants to do some just some wild art, just take the characters and do something crazy with them. And then he's going to do a cover. It's going to be themed to the 1986 Transformers animated film cover, and so that's going to be great because I'm a big fan of all group titles. Honestly, like I've always loved them, but Transformers is one of my favorites. But yeah, so we're going to do that. That was a great moment in my childhood when that film came out. Watched all the cartoons, and so I'm a big fan of that. Essentially He-Man, although it's like one hero, that's kind of a group title. Like you've got a lot of heroes and a lot of villains in it. I think having a diverse character base, reoccurring characters, things like X-Men, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Watchmen, all of our favorites. These group titles, just for me, were more like Thundercats. They're exciting. Having more characters. I look at it as giving you more tools to develop story, and I've had many people say to me that oh yeah, Rick. I've had many people say to me, sorry, I had to go check something real quick, make sure Rick was good. Yeah, I've had many people say to me that it's a challenge to write a group title because of developing the story, but I was able to get a look at it from a professional who liked it very much and said my pacing was superb. And so I'm confident that I was able to pull it off. So you guys are going to get a guarantee. You're going to get a great story. Artwork's going to be beautiful. We've got Joe Arnold who's going to be doing the pencils and the inks for this story, and then we're going to have Alessandro Torretta, who is going to be doing the colors, and he's a phenomenal colorist. So I'm very excited about that. So we're going to get you a beautiful book and a beautiful story. It's going to be exciting. Fun characters. So yeah. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hey, we were on live stream the other night, and we didn't show it, but I'm going to go back into some of my artwork. Again, I'd like to thank Cornerstone Creative Studios for showing me how to draw. This one is very fun. I didn't get to show it the other night when Ty was on, but this is a character that's in development, and this is an art piece I did a while back for this character for Vault, and I really like this design. And I keep poking at the guys if I get a shot or doing one of the issues. I definitely like to work in the story and work in a design like this because I think it's very cool. I dig that, and we've got some monsters around, and I just did some silly stuff with some of the guys from the studio, some of my friends here, like high school homeroom desk graffiti inside of it. Just fun. And I played around with some monsters. We got a skeleton over here and an ogre zombie. So thought that was pretty neat. What do we get here? Oh yeah, awesome. Yes, absolutely, it is awesome. And so I did that. Let's see. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, jeez, it'd be nice if I shared screen. Let's see here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, so we got the graffiti inside of the coffin. You get this design for Vault. I'd like to do this sometime and have a story written up for him. So this is the next title. I've done 4 for Cornerstone, 3 4-issue Origins, and an Origin for Meter Marley is 2 issues, and I'd like to work on this title too. Our universe is incredible. Jesse has a mind uh, he's a great idea guy, and so he's very good in the collaborative pocket, so we can get a lot done with him. He's awesome. So I'd like to do something like this here with the chain veil. And that's going to be good, I think. So what else do we have here? Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. I did this piece too. I didn't get to show. I was going to show Ty, but I sent it to him. He gave me a thumbs up. This is my crack at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Five Nights at Freddy's. And I did this as a poster for my kids. And so let's see here. Yeah. Let's go back. I just want to make sure I had the right share on. Alright, so this is what we got right here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we got, I like this here with Mikey. I think the expression's perfect with him doing the selfie. And we got Donatello, he's geared up. They're assaulting Freddy Fazbear's, and there's pizza just there and ready with yeah, it's got a bunch of the stuff from Five Nights. My kids are Five Nights at Freddy's. They were Five Nights at Freddy's psychos, and so we went into it. But I mean, this ain't bad for a writer, I'd say. The fellas did me right, man. They referred me around, and Jesse's worked with me a lot. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but I like how this piece came out. I love it. I'm gonna get it inked and colored up. I like my metalhead design. I did a little bit of a variant. You know, I gave him a shield too, but I think that turned out great. And there with Raph on the doorstep, and Casey Jones too. I like my Casey Jones build too. That shit is dope. That came out alright. Not to talk about you, not to sniff my own farts or anything, but like, yeah, I think that turned out alright. My lettering is terrible though. That's one thing I notice when I'm drawing lettering. Like it's absolutely terrible. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool. We could even edit that out. I bet you so they could fix that up and make that sharp. Guys are good at that. Let me see if Rick made it. No, let's see what we got. Yeah, so Rick's not ready. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Let's keep going in the folder. I like going in the folder and building this thing up. We've got. I don't know if you guys have. I showed some guys in the stream a while back, but Carlos Phillips is going to be doing the cover, and this is his work in progress. For Mammoth Monk, we're going to feature him in Ultra Ghost. The first 2 issues revolve around those characters centrally, and for the most part, and the other characters become supporting cast, very much like X-Men title was, where the heroes are all recurring, they all work together, but the issue goes in, and they all have their own backstory. So this is built to be an ongoing series. The 4-issue opener is going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so he's going to be doing the cover for this graphic. It's going to be a double-issue graphic novel for Hayward Saints 8. And so so that's the work in progress for the cover on that. Darius Verma started the pencils for his variant cover, and then Paris is working on the cover for the Ash Can. And I'm thinking we're going to probably put the bios in the Ash Can, and we're going to have some original pages and some promo art and some things. Yeah, so we're still building that. But I think that's going to be cool. It's going to have a lot of fun stuff in it. And that's why I wanted Paris to do that. I mean, Paris is obviously very experienced. You went quiet. Oh, you were AFK for a sec there? What did it say? You went quiet? Oh, I don't know. Did I? Can you hear me okay? Or maybe it was echoing. I don't know, man. But oh, yeah. Let's see. What was I? Yeah, I was talking about. Yeah, everybody's doing. Oh, the reason why I had Paris do the ash can is because Paris is just a fun guy. He obviously has a ton of experience, and generally ash cans are like promotional and they're smaller. But we're going to do a full size comic book print of it, and I wanted him to do the fun book, and he wanted to do some extra pages. And the original book, my book team's going to do the interiors for my graphic novel, and so I want him to do some fun pages. Just take the characters and do whatever he wants, whatever inspires him with them. Just make something, just draw like some pages up. He offered, which was very cool. He's been nice to me. Um, and then do that tribute cover, which is going to be great. And so I sent him all the reference material, and we're gonna get together. But it's going to be a fun little book with some cool artwork in it, and it's going to be free form creativity. And Paris is a walking inspiration. If you ever met him, Paris Cullens, he's very cool, and so yeah, I wanted him to do something like that that's free form creativity because he's just his personality. He likes things like that, and so yeah, we're happy to have him on it. And then I've got a couple more artists that I'm talking to. I've done some professional work, and so yeah, we're gonna take the letter of what else we're gonna take the letter of endorsement. Ed Greenwood read all 4 issues and gave us a beautiful letter um, for our backers, um, so that way you guys could have a guarantee in a way that although I'm very new to comic writing, I've done other forms of writing and I've worked professionally in tabletop RPG, and also I'm a self-published author. Um, this is going to be a good book, and so we're excited to be able to deliver it to you. This is my kind of story. Like Hayward Saint Eight is the comic book that I want to read that nobody's created yet, and that's how I wrote it, and that's how I created it. I saw something that was missing, and I wanted something that hit every note for me, and so I wrote Hayward Saint Eight to fill that need. Um, Obviously, it doesn't mean that there's anything necessarily wrong with my favorite characters that are already established, but I felt like there was something missing that I wanted, and so this is my way to contribute to it, and this is a way for me to read a book that I want to read that isn't out there, and so you're going to get something that's not exactly like anything else, and so yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We want to launch at the end of the year, and we're still doing the artwork. Jesse and the guys are still working on my pages. We're looking to submit to CG Jumpstart with Mammoth Monk Story, which is a prequel to the issue 2 that's in the double issue, and so that's going to be our submission. They've already been inked up. He's already finished. They've been sent off to the colorist, and so he's going to do his magic, and he's very good, very experienced. And then we're going to get it lettered up, and we're going to send it in, contribute, because we want to see CG Jumpstart be a success. We want to see the relaunch happen. We want to see that book be a success. I think it's going to be bigger. I dare say even bigger than Vestige 2. Although Vestige 1, I have the book right here, and I read it. It's beautiful. Here, hold on, I'll get it just to show. Yeah, I actually back. This is my copy here. It's got the Ethan Van Sciver bearing in the front. But this is a nice book. And I want to use this book as the standard when I print for the graphic novel as well. This is a beautifully printed book. Those are nice thick pages. The quality's there, the artwork quality. Let me pick out a page here. Interior, so that you guys can see this. Like, it's very cool. Okay, that's it after. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. It's very well done. got all the gods here shown and the relic weapons, and so this is cool. And the quality of this book, this is a thick book. This is right on. So this is what I want for mine as well. It's even got a raised. It's a little bit, yeah, it's raised on the cover. That's nice. And it gleams with the lights. Check that out. I like that. And even her choker, the gem on her choker and the sword gleams with it. How do you like that? Yep. And so yeah, so I want to use that as the standard for printing. You want that quality. You want a nice thick book that people are going to be happy with. So here it is. We can connect their mic cam. Yeah, Rick came in, but he yep. Yeah, he came in, but his device, his webcam is hasn't come in yet, I guess. So yeah, absolutely. And I've already talked with the printer as well. We've got some samples coming in. I'm going to take a look at 3D Zach and see what he has to offer. He's doing the printing right now. I like the idea of going with Comicsgate for the books. He does fulfillment as well, but I think where this is going to be yeah, no, it's definitely a handsome looking book. Like, and the writing's very good too as well. Gat Hanzo's the writer. It's legit. Like, I'm not a shill. Like, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't. You know, and I like the person. Like, I probably wouldn't bash them. You know, I just, but you know, I wouldn't endorse the book or like or say that it was a fantastic book if it wasn't. So, yeah, Rick notified me he's having some cam issues, so it's no big deal. Yeah, so Gat's very talented writer. It's fantastic. Artwork's good. But I definitely want to hit that note on the printing because this is a beautiful book. I'm happy to have this in my collection. You got the back cover there, but that I don't know if I can convey to you how thick the cover is, but that's not a cheap cover. You can hear it when you flick it. It's a thick. That's a thick graphic novel cover, and you want that something that's you can see the press here in the seam. Let's see if we can get that nice and close. If you can see that. No, you can't. I'm looking on the webcam right now. You can't, but there's a line here where that's pressed on the binding. The perfect bound on the back. It's not saddle stitch. It's perfect bound on the back. And so beautifully done. Yep. And they got the tribute in the back, but yeah, that turned out great. And so I think everybody needs to deliver that that kind of quality so that people will have faith in indie. They want to get their money's worth out of their products. So we're going with 3D Zach. He told me he's got a new print set up, and he's already fulfilled for some guys in Comicsgate. And so for small print runs, he says he's competitive with anybody up to 400 copies, which is great info. And it's only going to get better from there. He's actually a 3D printing guy, so that's his specialty. He's been doing that for years, nearly a decade, I believe, when we spoke. And so this printing of books is a new thing, but he's a smart guy. And so I'm excited about the new capabilities, talking about looking to get better cardstock capabilities, or working on it so that you can get the cardstock right so you can do trading cards. And so I'm excited about that. And he's Comicsgate, so and he wants to offer that, but he offers to all independent. So and I talked with him, and I like him. So we're going to see. I've got some samples being printed now. We're going to show those live to everybody. We're doing a couple. We're doing like a regular cover, and then we're doing like a specialty cover. I think we're going to do like either an embossed or like a chromium or like a foil type of cover, and so that we can show that to everyone. I'm going to send some copies to Jesse too and see what he thinks. Send it his way and see about having Zach do printing, because we're always looking for a printer. There's lots of printers out there who've done good work, but yeah, absolutely. If you definitely interested in knowing more about the printer, once I can clear my plate more. Yeah, no, absolutely, Jesse. I had him on a live stream a while back, and he was great. We've been talking in DM, and I already paid him, and then gave him the specs. He's waiting on your email though. He needed a file from you, so I don't know if you were able to clear your plate, and I know that you had a family thing, so whenever you finish with that and get back, just yeah, go check your email. I forwarded it to you, and he gave some specs, so he needs a file for it, and he wants to play around with it and get us a perfect copy. I sent him the high res that we had, but he wants the original file, I think. So when you get that, he can get going on it. So he'll set it up, and I'll have him print my campaign. He sends it back, and he has the book too as well. We use this as a baseline because he owns a copy of this as well, so he knows what this looks like. And so I was like, I want to use that as the standard. Like, that's a beautifully printed book. If you can do that, I would like to. I'd like to do the same, because I think we should have a high quality across the board and make people confident in Comicsgate. So if we're not at least hitting that, which is a very high bar, rarely are you going to get a book that's printed that well. If we can hit that bar every time, we want the customers to know they're going to get a solid product. And so yeah, so I like it. So he has that. So he has the copy, so he knows what I'll be able to do it. I mean, obviously it's not going to be done exactly like that. We're doing something totally different, but as far as like the thickness of pages and the quality of the pages themselves, a thick cover like that, bound the same way, like that's what we want to do. We want it to be a solid book. We want it to be a nice product, something that they'll be proud. The fans will be proud to have in their hands. We can already say that the story is going to be quality. The artwork, we've shown artwork from our studio. Our guys are very talented. So you're getting that, but you want the product itself to be very good. And so that's what we're going to do for our first campaign, is focus on that. Make sure you get a good book and a good story, and then we've got the sequel lined up, which is another another double issue, issue 3 and 4, and so we'll have the intro series completed. And then I've got a bunch of other stuff that I want to do after that, but for right now, that's the goal. We just want to make books. We want to give you books for money and keep going. We want to keep going with it. We have a successful first campaign. We can do it again. So that's what we want to do. Yep, that's what we want to do. Oh, Facebook messaged me. Cool, man. Yeah, I don't have my Facebook open right now. I think when we end the stream, Rick's having trouble with his camera, so he said. And I could see it too because he was in the room, but it said the camera wasn't detected. So he's trying to get. I've had him on stream before, but he's just got a little snag with his with hardware, technical difficulties. I mean, we're all yeah. So that's what it is. So hey, after we're talking about all this, actually, I'd like to play some media for you. And then we're going to transition right from that media into the Word Nerd is Right segment. And so I'll go ahead and cue that up and play the media for you. Hayward Saints 8 trailer. The artwork was all Cornerstone Creative Studios artwork, and it was edited by a childhood friend of mine, a video editor. And we're going to use this for our campaign video. And then we'll just transition into the Word Nerd is Right segment. This evening we're going to talk about current events. So a current event that happened, and then talk about it a little bit. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cue this up. Let me see here. If I can't get technology to work for me. All right, we got that and that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. We were temporarily experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll be right back.
Following the investigation of an immense anomaly.
Responsible party has been held at the FOR U.S. compound for questioning.
Inside sources say they claim to be divine appointed heroes sent by angels to prevent the apocalypse that they witness 500 years from now.
500 years from now, in the year 2525. Hope they throw away the key on this group from Crazy Town.
Ultra Ghost reporting for duty.
Name's Gix. I'm AI. What's your malfunction, chump?
This is Ultra Ghost. I need some muscle down here.
I will not fail you, Master Gigaru.
We're back, ready for round two.
production.
Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, my good friends. That was actually Hannibal, Jesse, who came up with that that remix. And so tonight's, what does it say here? Daniel, go. Oh, what did I? Oh, it had the window. Yeah. Technology. You know, still having rough starts and still having rough shares. So. Yeah. Pabst Blue Ribbon, by the way, is not a sponsor. I just like to drink it. Yeah, I should have went. Yeah, I usually do go full screen, but yeah. So anyway, that's our campaign video, and tonight's tonight's Word Nerd is right. Unreal. We had it was on Twitter, and maybe you're not real interested, but Mags Fasaggio has written for many professional comic companies. I took a shot at William Shatner over a comment that he made. He was doing Twitter live quotes from a show, and so and she tried to call him out on it. Tried to call him a bigot towards transphobes, and we're talking about Captain William Shatner, Captain Kirk. And so he types here, it just looks like they want to find a loophole to justify the use of the term in all cases and refuse to even address how the term is regularly used on social media towards me as a demeaning slur. And he's talking about cis white male. If you go on Twitter on William Shatner, the tweets there, and he was talking about that. And so he wasn't interested in that. It just same as any white male who's looking to get into entertainment would not be interested in that kind of label. You know, the thing is that people want tolerance and equality, but the way that people are going about it is just not. This is not it. And definitely having disrespect for William Shatner, who has an amazing career. He's a fantastic human being. You know, people bash him regularly. It doesn't make sense to me. But this is what her response was that I love how we're talking. Let's see. I'll share it so that you guys can see too. But if you go on Twitter, you can see the same thing. But yeah, we've got here. This was her response to it. The comment that I read below is here down William Shatner's comment. Her response retweeting, I love how we're talking about your feelings, about the word cis, and not about how you called Billy Tipton a woman. You're the victim here, really. Okay, so if you don't know who Billy Tipton is, he was a musician throughout the 20th century. And he spent his entire career in the public eye as a male. And upon his death, the medics noticed that he was actually a woman, and so it was released upon his death. He took the secret to his grave. And so what we're talking about here is that she's essentially calling William Shatner a cis, because he called Billy Tipton a woman, because trying to take the angle that claiming him, Billy Tipton as a transgender, and saying that William Shatner doesn't have the right to call Billy Tipton a woman. And so this was his response that, here we go. We'll go into what this was his response to this. I was live tweeting a show, dear, and that's a direct quote from the show. Also, according to the show, Billy never told his 5 wives that he was a woman. He said he couldn't have sex because of a childhood accident. So before attacking me, know your facts, troll. So that was that. And here you can see the tweet's unavailable because I had to have a screenshot because I'm blocked by her. She blockchains. So, like, whether you've had any interaction with her or not, she blockchains based on who you're following or who you... and so there's a lot of people who will probably go to her page to go see this, and you'll be blocked. And so this is common practice in mainstream comics to cut themselves off from anybody who doesn't agree with their point of view, and anybody who follows a person who doesn't agree with their point of view strongly. So that way they're in a little vacuum, and there's lots of people out there who are not subject to those blockchains, and those people are being promoted these ideas that it's okay to call out celebrities for quoting things on social media and make everything about a social agenda, which is just wrong. It's okay to feel strongly about things, but it's not okay to assume that people are bigots, or people are racist, or bigots towards an orientation or a gender or a belief. And so this is a great example of that. And so this is my my comment that I made. I'm a big fan of original Star Trek, obviously. Like, it was an amazing show. I think it's unduplicatable. The cast was so good, and I loved it, and I shared it with my father. My father was a Trekkie before Trekkies were cool. So way back when it actually originally aired, he would drive home, because then you didn't have record. If you missed it, that was it. So he would pedal his ass home, and so he could catch Star Trek because he loved it. And so he passed that on to me. And so here, replying to William Shatner, this is just the kind of thing we're talking about. Way to go, Bill. Phaser set to maximum, fuck off. And so that's the way to handle it. I mean, we've been told many times this is the way to handle these kind of things. It sounds kind of, I mean, maybe if it sounds harsh to you, fine. But a lot of times you just can't have any tolerance for these kind of call out things, because it's the first step in a cancel. They would try to cancel William Shatner, call him a bigot, which is ridiculous. They were fighting for freedoms of equality well before any of us were born. This newer generation was born. So William Shatner, I think, handled it beautifully. And so that is our the word nerd is right. I think that was the way to go. And I'm generally right. I have good instincts when it comes to judging people's character. I think I'm right on this one. And so let's go into some more artwork. I think. Oh, hey, Rick's here drawing. Cool. Hey, let's bring Rick in. Hey, Rick, how you doing?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great, man.
Okay. Yeah, I was having problems. I had to restart my computer for some reason. It just wouldn't go in.
That's all right.
I didn't have any sound or video. So
Oh, well, now you have sound and video, and it looks like you're doing something there. What
yeah,
the hell are you doing, man?
I'm working on a Vax on a piece with Jesse.
Oh, cool.
Jesse drew the cur on it. So
Hmm.
I'm doing a Vax. I think he should turn this into a 2-page spread and make it nice and big.
Cool, man. I like it.
Yeah, I'm always trying to rework Vax a little bit. I've never been quite happy with the way he looks. I just got to keep tweaking with it till I get the right one.
I like it. Yeah, keep playing with it, man.
Yeah,
No, it's great. I love.
it looks a little too bubbly for me. I don't know. He looks good. I mean, I agree that it looks good. It's just for some reason in my head he's a little more stretched out. I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah, keep playing with it, man. I like it.
So you were talking about the William Shatner deal. I saw that today.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
You know, you don't pick on Mr. Shatner.
You can't fuck with Captain Kirk. You just can't.
Man, he's already set. They can't cancel him or anything like that. You know?
Hey, Jesse's. Yeah, I think once you get to a certain point, like the bullshit can't touch you. I guess. Like he's on this throne.
It's all in the crowd that you build. He's built a crowd that does not pander to cancel culture, so he can go ahead and say whatever he wants to them. You know. And
I like it.
Nobody's gonna cancel him. Nobody's gonna put him down because the people that follow him know what the deal is. You know.
That's right.
Can't
be swayed.
Yeah, exactly. The people that I see going down are the people that are building their reputation on cancel culture, and you know being politically correct. So when they do make a mistake, it just burns them. There's no safety net. You know.
That's right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that his fans are so loyal. I mean, that I mean, anybody who's sane, whether you're a fan of him or not, is going to look at that and just see that it's ridiculous. But there's still people subject to it, and I think that's that comes with the territory of like mainstream because there's a lot of politics with it. Politics that I think a lot of us indie guys don't want anything to do with. We'd much rather have a raw creativity form and not have to deal with that kind of thing. I don't like to get political really with it, but that's the same reason why I can talk about it and say that I want that shit out of my face. I just want to do it the way that we're doing it. I want to be creative and I want to make cool comic books and I want to make cool artwork. And so, I don't want all that other garbage.
And although it comes out as humor sometimes when I say some things, it's the truth. You can't, just because you don't like something doesn't mean you got to ruin the person. I know plenty of people I disagree with that I would never dream of getting online and be like, don't buy his work or don't do this or don't, just to ruin them over an opinion. Everybody has different lives. My life has been awesome. I came to this country with $97 back in the 80s, and I'm not a multimillionaire, but I've made enough money that I was able to raise a family, got a good retirement coming my way. I've made plans. So now, even now with this whole pandemic going on, I'm still going strong. And I understand there's people that don't, but I mean, I can't sit here and tell you. I know the rules that I followed to get there that I think are necessary for people to follow in order to make it. But I can't say, well, you didn't follow this or you didn't follow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. And I mean, I think
everybody, he might have landed in a spot that wasn't so fertile, but I chased the money. So I've lived pretty much. I've lived in South America. I lived in North America. I lived in Canada. Lived in Korea and the Middle East, and this is one of in this place. When I landed in Georgia.
And you're a veteran.
But originally when I landed in Georgia, my plan was to move to Australia. And thank God I met my wife here, 20 some odd years ago, and we've been married for 25 years. Actually, 25
Why in the hell would you want to go to Australia?
Back then, it was like a dream because my dad always talked about moving to Australia.
Rick
actually went there in the 80s, and I thought it was a pretty cool place. So I thought, you know what, I'll do it. I'll help my dad realize his dream and come over. And that was the plan. When I got in the military, I was going to move to Australia, and then he was going to follow me over there. And
But why Australia of all places? Don't you know that like 90% of the wildlife wants to bite, maim, kill, or punch you?
Yeah, but that was the dream back then. I was young and
they have animals over there that want to punch you.
Oh yeah, they got stuff out there that'll kill you.
The kangaroos want to fucking punch you. Okay, if you really want to get into it, like, dude, why would you want to go there? There's shit that wants to kill you around every corner.
I think you plan things. You know, I was young and I wanted to do something for my dad, and then instead I ended up doing something for him here because when I landed in Georgia, I started in art and I slowly moved into the diesel mechanics, and diesel mechanics have been very, very generous, more so than art, you know.
Yeah.
In the end,
it's a trade.
Yep. In the end, I was able to give him his dream because he loved being a mechanic. And when I moved on to the current job that I had to sell all my equipment because one of the rules was that I wasn't going to compete with them. And I was doing really good. I'm bilingual. So I had a lot of the Hispanic market here in Atlanta when it came to like road service and things like that.
Mm.
And I brought it up to my father. I said, you know, I have to sell the company. I cannot have the company if I'm working for my current employer. And he's like, well, that has always been my dream. You have my dream job. I've always wanted to work for myself. So I'm like, here, take it over. You know, everything that I had was paid for. I built my company cash only. You know what I mean? And that was the main thing that helped me because I saw a lot of guys start up with all the equipment, but they had payments. I saved my money, and when I had enough money, I bought the van. I went ahead and fixed it. You know, I put my toolbox in there, got the air compressor, you know, the whole thing. Airlines, I plumbed that thing. So I even carried a welder, so I could do trailer truck repair on the spot. I had enough room to get parts. I dealt a lot with the Mexican guys because you know as soon as they saw that I spoke their language, it was. I mean, all I did was help one guy, and before you know, like by that afternoon, I had 4 or 5 guys calling me. Oh, you speak Spanish too? Yeah, and those guys paid cash. So we're talking, you know, late '90s, early 2000s, and within 6 months, I had a full business up and running. My biggest problem is I could never find anybody reliable. The thing that I've seen in this country, and what a lot of people don't talk about, is they become so used to working for somebody else that is literally scary for them to go work on their own. Because if say like I was looking to do a job, say like I was gonna do an entire truck, I was gonna do the brake jobs on it, right? That is
Right.
6-wheel positions. That takes, I mean, if you're a machine, you can do it in about 4 hours. But as a regular human being, it's gonna take you, you know, a good 6 hours because you're gonna get tired. So I had no problems with offering somebody $200 to go help me do a brake job, and that is one day's wage. You know, so we come in, we fix it, and that's it. So I would tell you, hey, I'm gonna give you $200 if you come here and give me a hand. First question, well, how long are we gonna be there? Don't know. That's why I'm offering you a full day's wage. Your average person makes 120 to 180 bucks. I'm offering you 200. This is tax free. I'll pick you up in the morning. We might be there all afternoon, and if so, I'll pay you extra. That's not a problem. And what I found out is a lot of people, they were afraid because I couldn't tell them how much I was making. And the truth is, I couldn't tell you. I mean, there were days where I didn't make any money. But then I remember one time I spent a whole week without making any money, and I was getting a little worried. Sunday afternoon, I get a call to go put in a turbo on an old Peterbilt, had a cat engine on it, and it's in Alabama. So the first number, you know, I called, got the price of the turbo and stuff. I told the guy, hey, it'll be about $6,000 because it's the weekend. And I was upfront with him. I honestly don't want to do it. He's like, do it. I got a very important load. I need you. So I, you know, packed my stuff, made $6,000 on Sunday for about 8 hours worth of work with the drive, you know?
So you've done this, you've built this all with your mechanic work. Did you learn what about when you were in the military? Were you a mechanic there too?
I didn't go in as a mechanic. I was actually I went in as a regular soldier.
Okay.
I was, and which surprised a lot of people because before I went into the military, I've always been artistic, and I found that sheet metal was really paid the bills. Especially when I was living in Miami, I couldn't find really that much mechanic work, and being, you know, young, a lot of mechanic shops didn't really want to take a chance on me because they didn't know me. I was an out of towner, but they needed, at the time, they needed a lot of sheet metal workers. and I was working for a company that it was awesome because we made fireplaces there, and Jack, the owner, who's now dead, he named it Evening's Delight. So whenever anybody asked me, hey, where do you work at? I work at Evening's Delight. Is that like a sex shop or something like that?
It sounds, what you're saying is it sounds more fun than it is.
Exactly. So we built fireplaces, and I went in there, and I mean, I learned pretty much a lot about sheet metal. I left that company to go work at Eastern, and that didn't work out. That's around the time that they kind of went belly up. So instead, I went into the military, and I went in. I didn't want to do that. I fought it, man. I fought it since I was little. It's not that I hated it; it's just I didn't want to be like my dad at that time. Don't ask me why. So anything mechanical, I avoided. I knew the skills because my grandfather used to make me go work at the shop when I was little. And when I got here, that's the last thing I wanted to do was turn wrenches. And surprisingly enough, after I got in the military, I was, I started doing art. But as the family grew, the paycheck wasn't growing fast enough to support the family. So I was doing good while I was single. I was doing good when I first met my wife. When we had our first two kids, then it wasn't enough. And
now, what about the Image Comics? Like within all of this, like you ended up working on it, Atomic Mike, right?
Okay, so at the time, well, I'll explain to you the whole Image Comics deal. At the time,
we talked about it.
I met a gentleman. He started with we bought into a company called Across the Bond, and we put out titles that we tried to get published through Image, but Image was not very kind to us. They never advertised us. I remember the titles just not even being. I mean, they weren't even in the previews. And I remember Steph fighting with them about it. And we weren't big money. We were all nobodies, you know. And I was doing the inking at the time for the studio. I did all the inking. And although we had some titles that had actually sold, but they sold through other companies. And so working for Image wasn't like I wasn't at the Image office. They're just like an imprint company. So you could be working for Image right now if all of a sudden your title gets picked up by them. You just fall under the Image flag, but you're not really an employee. You can just say that, hey, I worked for Image at one point.
That's right. Yeah, you worked on a title that they picked up and published
and dropped by Image because they never. I mean, it was never in a blip on the radio. Actually, I do believe Speakeasy ended up publishing one of the Atomic Mics, and then I can't remember after the studio closed, Steph kept working his titles. So I don't remember who actually, but I know that you can buy them on Amazon. He got a deal eventually, and the novels are there. And I got to meet some pretty cool people at the time.
Cool.
Andy Smith was involved. Sergio Carello was involved.
Sometimes things don't work out. Jesse's in the chat too. He wanted me to tell you a while back, but we got talking. But Jesse's in the chat watching you draw. Hey, why don't you flip that so everybody can see where you're at?
Oh, right now I just got the eye going. I did the face.
Flip it 90 to the right.
Like that?
Yeah, there you go. So we could see.
Look
at that. Look at that. Yeah, you can see the blue that you set. Yep. Yeah, remember when we were working it? It's hard with the design. I tried to hit it. I had no artistic.
For me, it's one of the things that I don't draw as much anymore, and I haven't just because of the way things have worked out. So what I did is I did the first sketch, then I found Jesse's drawing and I put it right here, and then what I did is I blue lined it and printed it so that way I don't have to erase. And then I resketched and I'm fixing the little things that I want changed. And then once it's done in pencil, then I'll scan it so that way Jesse can play with it and then he can put the curve wherever he wants to and move it around.
Yeah, do the collaboration to make the artwork come together. Yeah, and work on the design some more, which is cool. Yeah, and we still have to do another design too for the Black Dragon version when it goes to the Nexus. So we're going to be working on that when we do that graphic.
Yeah, so
that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be great, man.
Yeah, so
I'm really excited about that story.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into comics, and like I said, last Christmas I got a chance to ink a book, and it went in the pile of nobody will ever see it because the company went under. But the thing is, when my kids moved out, in my head, I thought I was going to have so much time honestly, they weren't here, you know. But since they've moved out, they spend more time here than they did when they were teenagers. So yeah, so like today, I didn't have any plans for today. I was gonna actually start it. I would probably had it finished by now, but I was gonna start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I got up. I was still drinking my coffee when my son showed up, needed an emergency babysitter. So I'm watching my grandkids, and then my daughter showed up with her kids. Before you know it, I spent the whole afternoon just playing with the kids. And you know, and they just left not a while ago. That's why I said I needed 15 more minutes because I was getting ready to everybody, so I wouldn't have any interruptions. And you know, I do more with them now than I did when when they weren't here. But I'm not complaining. I'm not, because eventually the time will come where they, you know, I won't be able to do it, or they won't come around. You know, as the kids get older. So I just, you know.
Yeah, it's what it is, man. I have family too. Dude, I this stream we ended up pushing it back some, and I know we wanted to come off the back end of War Campaign, but you know, I worked all day, worked day job all day, and then we took the kids over to the river to go dunk in the river. I had a good time with that, but it was scrambling to try to get together and get some material and then do my live stream. You know, it's just it's what it is. There's a lot of indie guys that are struggling with that. Not everybody is living off their artwork, you know. So, and not everybody has a family commitment where they, you know what I mean. So I admire that your grandkids and your kids are your family commitment, you know. But so we're happy to have your time, to have you keep drawing, because we love your artwork. Jesse obviously loves your artwork. He's in the chat participating with us, you know. It'd be nice to have him in live if he had time to do it. Get him in and just do the three of us and talk about it.
Let me see. Let me put it on the chat. Let me see. There he is.
Well, don't put the link in the chat though.
No,
because I get cuckoo fuck puppets sometimes that come into my streams, so I don't want them to have the link. Well, I mean, I guess I could not bring them in, but yeah, so we're just gonna keep it. I just send it in DM. I send the link in DM if you wanted to come in. But yeah, man. Here inking as well. Oh, he's busy working as well. Yeah, that's good news though. Yeah, to have these guys working is good stuff.
I want to get back into it. I miss it. I mean, this is one of the things that art has been really, really good to me. I've actually, you know, I never did have that career that I wanted in comics, but this has given me the freedom. I've done some pretty cool projects just because I'm free, you know. So if I'm always doing commissions. Well, not this year. This year's been very slow for me.
Jesse says that there's a reason why I pulled Rick out of retirement. Well, I believe him, and you know, I gotta say,
it was Jesse that pulled me out of retirement. Yeah.
Well, the thing is Jesse, I gotta say, of all people that I've met in comics or anywhere, the guy's a talent. He has a nose for talent. I think that's a strength. I think building a studio on something like that is a strength. He sees talent in a different way than other people. Lots of other people see talent that everybody else sees, and that's useless in a way. I mean, it's good to be able to identify good talent with everybody else, but it's essentially like they have to be told what talent is. And Jesse's not that way. He's not a follower in that sense. He's the type of person that can see a talent before they're ready. He can see a talent that's there, that's kind of a sleeper talent, or somebody that should continue to work that hasn't been, you know, those kind of things. He obviously sees the same talent that everybody else sees, but he also sees a talent that everybody else doesn't see.
Yes,
I admire that about him. Like someone like you who went into retirement, and somebody who should be back out and drawing. The pages that we had for that preview would have never happened if it wasn't for him saying, Rick, you're a talented inker and penciler. You have a cool style. I want to put you to work. I'd like to work with you. Let's collaborate. I think that was smart. And I think it's smart, like what he did with Kleber as well, taking a young kid who had no professional experience whatsoever and helped him get his portfolio together. And lo and behold, a few years later, he's doing professional work. And so, like, you know, he sees things like that. And that's what I admire about him for sure. I think that's a strength.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To not need to, because that's the thing. I mean, he doesn't have to be told what's good. He can see a talent there that's close, or maybe even, and he has enough experience himself to kind of get him there if there's something that they're missing in their their work as well. He referred me to people when I was writing and got me the pieces that I was missing to get my scripts together. When I started, I was very raw. I'd just written a novel. I'd never written a comic book before, and he got me in shape very short. He spent a lot of time with me, but in a very short amount of time, he got me where I needed to be. Yeah. So, and I knew, and it was exactly what I needed. You know, like the people he sent me to had the advice exactly what I needed, so that even I could see that my scripts had gotten better, and it was they were the pieces that I was missing to take maybe an R8, like a mediocre script, and then do something amazing with it. So
no, I remember when he first introduced me to you.
Yeah, when we talked in Google Hangouts. Yeah, I remember.
You were the kid. I got a kid, man. Check it out. Check him out. Coming in, the kid's coming in.
It's so funny because I was a kid. I look young for my age. I was 30, 32 probably by then. I think by the time we talked, I was 32 years old.
Jesse, how old are you? Because I'm 50, so you're still the kid to me, you know.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm a 48 now, so yeah, you got a few years on me.
A couple.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, it's a new guy though, just the same. But yeah, no, the guys were very good to me. That was great. That was a great experience. It was nice to talk with all of you and collaborate. That was awesome. And so I want to make it work for us. I like it, man. I like all these titles. I like what we're doing. And but you know, the thing is coming up. There's definitely something wrong in the community of comics. And so, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. I think it took a lot of time to be able to see that. But there, you know, and especially with entertainment. I mean, the reason why I started writing was because there was something wrong in entertainment. I remember before I even started writing that novel, I went to a movie with my family when I was in my 20s and my late 20s, and I remember saying, "God, I watched that movie series. I think it was the." I think my wife wanted to go to it. It was like Hunger Games or something. I want to say it was the trilogy of the Hunger Games. And it was like the climax of the third movie, and there was like a line that was bad. I was just going, you know, I didn't really think too much of it, you know what I mean? But I just remember thinking like the line from the main character. I was like, man, what the fuck? I could write better than that. That's how they bring 3 movies together. What the hell, you know what I mean? I was like,
when you're watching something and you can tell how it's gonna end, and
that's bad too. Predictability, yeah.
Yeah, when I can say and be like, oh goddamn, please don't tell me it's gonna, and that's how it ends. Don't kill. I saw it coming with Game of Thrones. I was like, I know they're not gonna do it. Boom. And then it's just like,
that was a beautiful book series. I read that book series, you know.
Yeah, well, I didn't read it. I started watching my daughter got me hooked on it. I was planning to read the series first, but she got me watching the video.
That's fine. Yeah, I haven't seen a single episode.
I was so mad. It's like I'm gonna wait on the books. And to be honest with you, I've just been lazy.
Just put them on the back of the crapper.
Yeah.
Put your phone away.
I know. I was thinking about it the other day. I remember going to the bathroom without a phone, and it was still entertaining. But what the hell did I do back then? What was that? Was I counting time?
We just stared at the wall like it was like when the dog goes in the yard. You just kind of stare out into space and go.
Yeah, you're in I mean, you're in it for the full performance. It's not like you can leave your end.
You're dedicated to it more. It's not just a.
You're part of the presentation, so might as well have a good time.
Yeah.
That's a bit my friend used to do all the time. I was like, why do people come in and tell you, oh, it stinks? Don't you think I don't know that? I've been here since the beginning. Of course.
You know better than anybody. You're at ground zero.
Yeah, I'm ground zero. I can't leave. You know, I try flushing the toilet, but it's not an odor eater. So.
Oh, that's good stuff. And I like what you're doing with the horns there. Cool, man. Yeah, I like watching you draw. Keep going.
Yeah, I got the idea. I got the idea from Frank Cho. I've seen some of his Liberty Meadows stuff, and I thought that's the best way to draw horns. So here's a nod to him.
Nice, man.
Although he doesn't like us, from what I've read.
Yeah.
He's still a kick-ass artist, though. I like him.
Or that's a good attitude to have, man. That's right. Everybody doesn't have to like us, man. They don't have to like us. They, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's not about that kind of thing. You know
they'll
what I mean?
they'll eventually catch on.
A
Because
lot of people are.
it's what I've told many people. I said, when did you ever see a comic skater get you kicked out of your major book? I never seen a comic skater go in and they stop the press or they stop the title, right? So
Yeah.
they keep saying we're a hate group and this and that, and it's like, well, we're not the ones. You never see us getting somebody kicked out of a title or getting somebody canceled. You know,
Yeah,
even
that's right. We speak our opinion, but we don't take it to a fucking
even
destructive
yeah,
level like a crazy.
we're kind of like obnoxious frat boys sometimes. And I say, even when they're piling on somebody, they're never like, oh yeah, by the way, he lives here, here, and here. Get him fired, or don't you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's doing
About his
that.
book.
Yeah,
But
nobody's doing
that's
that
what
kind
they
of
do,
shit.
yeah. So when they do it, it's like, oh man, look at that.
Well, you know, that was the idea at first. There's a lot of people who had their lives destroyed. There's a lot of people who've been thrown out of comics by these kind of ideals, and that's what the idea behind cancel is, that they demand that society cancels these people because of their morality, because they don't agree with what these people are saying.
Yeah,
You know what these people believe in, and that's not a free society, and it's not good for, it's not conducive for creativity. That's for fucking sure.
yeah, it's
If
not.
anything, it has people running scared. Affects how people work. You know, we saw a prime example with Ethan. Why, um, you know, how it can affect somebody's work to the point where you drop a contract for one of the biggest publishers in the world. Why would somebody do that? Well, because it's not about the comics anymore. You know what I mean? It's not. You can't work under those conditions with people with that kind of thing, and especially with when you have these. When you have these SJWs online that are pooling these fan bases that they didn't earn, that they earned from creations from great creators, and they're getting handed these characters and do it, and people follow them just because it's under the banner of Marvel, of DC, these things. So they have these fan bases that they haven't earned, and they use that under that banner as muscle. And then you get a crowd of them together, and their social media reach is huge because people are just following these people because they see Marvel books. They've created it, and they trust that Marvel and DC know what they're putting out and what kind of people they're hiring. You see Stan Lee, and you're like, he's a class act. Why shouldn't we follow these people who are writing his characters that he created and the same imprint? But it's not like that. That's the illusion of it, and creativity has been hurt, and that's why I started writing 8 years ago when I wrote my debut book, was because I went to the theater and I saw that film, and I saw a lot of other hints throughout entertainment, through publishing, through movies and gaming, that standards had been changed. It seemed like maybe not across the board, it was subtle, but I saw a lot of things that could have been done much better, and I was like, well, geez, if I'm going to sit here and say that I could do better and not try, then who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? I'm just a person. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, obviously I'm allowed to be just a consumer and have my opinion, but I was like, how could I say that I could do better? You know what I mean? If I haven't done it myself. And so that's where I started. And that's what I strive to do, is to do better than what the current mainstream was. This was 8 years ago. You know, and we've seen a decline in comics, in the quality of comic books and publishing, things being mass produced and sent out in like mainstream. There's some, I mean, obviously there's some very big mainstream film as well. And there was like the whole reboot thing where things were being brought back, and they were pandering to nostalgia. We love the old movie, so we're going to go and see the reboot, and cashing in on that kind of thing. And it's the same kind of idea as cashing in on variant covers. These are tactics that are used to try to make easy money. These are formulated. These are created in a lab somewhere. But the problem with that kind of thing is that kind of model doesn't give you new content that's exciting, and doesn't have that. There's a risk factor to it, of course. You know what I mean, to doing it that way. But you know, that's kind of what we need. We need some new content. We don't need shit regurgitated over and over again for an easy buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So then when people got tired of it, then the numbers started to go down. So then the budget goes down. The budget they're willing to risk. So then you start getting reboots with these lower budgets that aren't quite hitting the note, and then people complained about that too. And somehow the market's just never been able to figure it out that maybe we just need some new content, or we need the old content done We need people doing it that are about the work,
Yeah.
not about all this other bullshit and trying to make a calculated chemical formula that's gonna give them a profit margin of this percent. Like, you know, obviously you need a marketing department, but they shouldn't be calling the shots when it comes to writing and creating a story, especially if you have people who have been doing this for a couple decades. They know how to do it. They should be creating books and do what they do, and then you should be selling it as a publisher. You know what I mean? But when politics and all these other things get involved, then it turns into a fucking weird soup.
Well,
That's my opinion of it. I mean, I think it
that's
turns
what
into
happened to me.
weird.
I stopped buying comics is whenever I complained, then I was the bad guy. So I'm like, okay, I just won't buy any. How's that? Now you don't have to say anything. I don't have to see you.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and that's kind of the point of it. They just want to make it frustrating for people who don't believe the same way that they do to exist in the same space. And that's what I like about Comicsgate, is that you don't have to deal with that. You can just say fuck them and just make a book. You say fuck them and launch a book. Launch a bunch of books if you want.
Yeah.
Make it, just deliver on it, have a plan. But yeah, I mean, you can be professionals outside of that space, and we can fight that way with our work. And that's what I like about it. And I want to be on the right side of history on that with my work personally. That's what I want. I can see that. I saw from the beginning that there was something wrong, and now that I'm more knowledgeable and I have more information, I can see it exactly for what it was, and I can identify what it for what it is, and I can identify what it is that's causing it. Before, it was trying all these different people and looking at the market as a whole. You're not able to do it, but you can see this mentality across the board. Like, there's a lot of similarities, so you're able to see exactly what it is that's hurting this industry. And I think it's just having these politics and these social agendas involved in all of this on social media, which was popular. I think it was escalated by Donald Trump coming into office, and people are angry about political issues and about him coming into office.
Well,
so it kind of put an emphasis about, I'm not political. Like, I don't want to go down a political route because it's not fun. But I think that kind of that's what we need to get away from. And we get that out of comics. Do it if you like politics, like it, and go do, go argue politics somewhere. But don't destroy comics with it, for fuck's sake.
Whether you like that man or not, he brought politics into your living room. Period. Because it seems like he's been president forever, just because from day one he was on your social media. I don't recall anybody else, period, ever being in the forefront of anything. You might hear about something that's going on, and for many years people were just nonchalant about their politics, and anybody who was serious about it was just crazy. But now everybody's in it. So what you're seeing is people who just recently woke up and they got those emotions like teenagers, don't know how to control themselves. And so it's been a tough year, and it's been a tough year for people, especially because now it's so polarized. If you don't agree 100% with what somebody's saying, like Gina Carano, they want you off the show, they don't want to ruin your career. Never mind that, just a few months ago she was the hero of the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck all that shit.
I like her now because she don't take any shit.
Look.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hey, look, Jesse. Type. I'm 46 now. We are getting old, Rick. Laugh out loud. Time to finally break off the crust and shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Yeah, he's absolutely right, man. And that's why I love the guy, man. Jesse is a good dude. He definitely is, and he's all about the creative process and the collaborative. We made here. Check this out. I'll share this with you. I'm sure you've seen this because I posted a bunch, and I've got it on a throw copy here, a book, and I've showed some other people. But let's see right here. Yeah, we had these done by William, and so he came up with these and rendered these, and they were designed. This was designed from the Golf logo. Well, it wasn't designed from, but I wanted the color scheme.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be bright, And I just told him that. And I said, but just do something else. But yeah, like I want something bright for it here. But for heroic fiction, okay. And so what this stands for is a new genre of superhero comics. And the way that Jesse wanted to do them, he inspired me with that. And so we're doing, you know, our universe, as you know, is it's classic heroism with modern themes, and then it's essentially a new genre of superhero comic. The way that I wrote my titles, and across the board, and we want to honor what it is rather than call them funny books. You know what I mean? Rather than call them comics that came from a comic strip. You know what I mean? You know, obviously we all know where they came from, and we want to honor that. But it's, you know, comics have evolved since then, and so I think this honors it a little bit more. And what we're trying to do is honor it and be the next stage. We were working with our extensive knowledge of these stories, and this love of these stories, trying to make the next stage in comics, and that's what this is heroic fiction in the superhero genre, telling a story and treating it as true literature is what we want to achieve with it. And when you read it, we want you to believe that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a literary you know, a literary work of art. Yeah. And we're working together to do it. And then on the other side, from the artist side, we also have this seal that we want to put on the covers here, the collaborative art form. And I'm a little bit of a fucker, so I did it like a gold star here, so that it's a little it's kind of a jerk move, I guess. But if you work together in a collaborative medium, then you get a gold star. If you can play nice and work together and make a book, because you need everybody to work together to collaborate and make it. Cornerstone's very good at that, very good at that. And so you know, that's a seal that we want to put there, that we recognize it as that's what comics are. They're a collaborative art form. You have people working together in unison with a common goal to create a great story, a great visual experience, and a great literary experience for people. And so we created these. We took time to have these done up because we're inspired. We love what we're doing. We care about it. These are seals that we want to put on our books so that people know that we're not just trying to put out funny books, and we have realistic goals for it. We would just want to make books and get them in people's hands. We understand what it is. Obviously, like the guys in our studio collectively have so much experience. Like, we know that you don't get in comics to make rich. You do it because you love it. You want to make books, and I feel the same way. So
yeah, I mean, if
we care about it.
To live just drawing, that's what I do. That's what I like. I don't. You know, there's a specific number in everybody's head. If I can meet that number, fine. I'm on it. I'd love to do it from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. And I've said it before. I drew for many years for free, so I tried to get into this.
Hey, check this out, Rick. You saw this one, right? I did it before everybody taught me how to draw it. Oh God, it's awful. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in here, though. We've got the design for the fork.
I didn't teach you anything. You just a little rough around the edges.
I thought it was terrible. I was a little bit rough. Yeah, you've got the Gix over here on the right, and then you've got Eva Bexby here, and you got Ultra Ghost. I definitely like how Ultra Ghost came out. That's decent. I like the forked sword too. I'm gonna get Joe to I want to make sure Joe follows that design for that. But look, you got Meteor Girl here. Originally, it was Meteor Girl when Jonda Starling was working on it, and then they came out with Riri Williams like 2 weeks after we released the sketches and we did some design work before we're going to start doing pages.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Riri Williams, and it's like identical to this, but this predates. I have the post on Facebook. It predates the release of Riri Williams. We came up with Meteor Girl, and she was the artist for it.
That's cool.
Off the designs, yeah. Okay, so then check this out. Then we got yeah. So now it's Meteor Marley, and we did a complete redesign to try not because they released officially first with the title, But we got Kinetic, and we've got Intergalactic Knight here. And then we've got, yeah. What else we got here? What's this? Victor Champion here. And then we've got Vault. And I did Kerr here. I'm not particularly proud of how Kerr came out, but I love how Vax came out. Check it out.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I dig that.
I liked the overall picture, the placement, and everything was right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and we got Mammoth Monk with a horde of butterflies behind him here with his fist drawn. I think that came out right. I like how that turned out. Oh, we got Eternitech up here on the building. Yeah, that's all right. I got kind of sloppy over here. The feathers were kind of, that probably would, like maybe in color stage or inking would probably simplify that, because I wasn't very good at doing wings, of course. But like we've got Destin, and we've got Striking Swan here, their arrow, and then we've got American Eagle here. I like that. I imagined America as Rage. I want him completely fucking enraged. Even then, see, I predicted the future.
Yeah.
America is fucking completely nuts, ready to fucking bloodthirsty. Yeah, I got power block in there. Yeah, yeah.
I gotta go take my dog outside. Hold on.
Oh, all right. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so that's it. Oh, we got Sentry here. You got Komodos the Dragon down here. Sentry done by Monty Stigman. Yep, you can see Ultra Ghost logo. There he is, Inexorable Word Nerd, Ultra Ghost. But I definitely like how he came out. That's Beast Mode. I think that turned out right. Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rick's got to go take his dog out. When he comes out, I got to go walk my lizard to the urinal. So that's what I'm going to do. What do we got here? Jesse's with us. Thanks, man, for staying in with us. Love you, man. What do we got here? Jondo was another great find that I've seen a lot of talent in at a convention when she first showed me her portfolio. Yeah, Jonda's legit. I agree with you, Jesse. Yeah, she's talented for sure. It's hard. She's doing a lot of art expos over where she's at, but she's got a lot of potential. Yeah, her line work is fantastic. So I agree with you on that. And that's just one of the many examples I was talking about where you can see talent and you don't need anybody else to tell you that it's good, that you just know it's good. You can get it there. And you're a talented inker yourself, so a penciler penciler's got the goods and you can bring it out with your work. So I mean, you made an artist out of me, and a lot of times my pencils are pretty loose in places and they need some repair work and stuff, and you're always on the money. Like, you're right there to see like what's missing and fix it up. So that's a good skill to have as well. Get finished artwork. Like it. Yep, so that's where that's where we're at with all that. And then we got the pages for CG Jumpstart that we're doing. Yeah, so we're gonna do those. Those are getting colored up. And I talked with Mickey and he's on those. Got the deadline coming up. We got a couple weeks. I'm sure it'll be fine. I got someone lined up to do lettering, so I think it'll be cool. Yep, those are going to be handsome. I've got those in the drive too. I think I got those over here. Let me see if I can dig those up so people can see the inks. Come on. Let's see what we got here. Come on. Colored, content. Yeah, I've got it right here. Alright. Finished inks are uploaded, right, Jesse? Are they in the drive or no, or did you email them? What do you got? I pride myself on seeing the talent inside that needs to come forth. No comment on your penciling. Just kidding. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I haven't really decided yet. It's kind of yeah, yeah, I've got a couple people that I'm talking with. So we'll see when the colors are done and stuff. I'm gonna talk to them again, hit them up, and then we'll go from there. But I should be able to get it lettered up quick. So yeah, so there's that. And then I kind of like to work on the cover page and get some more artwork in there, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be these 2 pages. But we'll see. I'll talk to the guys and we'll see if they're interested in taking these, and then we can definitely do some more stuff, get some more artwork done. These are going to go in. And I'm not interested in any money or anything for it. Like, I want to see CG Jumpstart go. Love it. Yeah. Yep. InDrive. Oh, okay. Yep. InDrive. Let's see. These were. Alright, cool. Let's bring it up then. Let's do that. See, yeah, right here. Fantastic work, Jesse. Well done. Yeah, there the high res came in. Oh, that looks tight. Yeah, that's exciting. I love what you guys did too with the overshadow. That's gonna look good when Mickey gets done with it. Yeah, you guys nailed it. That's gonna be cool, man. It's exciting. The broken panels. That's gonna be cool. So then we do that, right? And then we got this. Oh, that's there, and then preview. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And this is beautifully done here. This is very, and like for everybody who's watching too, this is very classic martial arts, and the dudes nailed it. And Joe drew it as well because he's a big fan of martial arts. He's actually a martial artist himself. He studies multiple arts. He has a record as a kickboxer, and he's a veteran, and he's also studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The way he drew it from the classic martial arts too is when he's coming in for the coup de grace, when he's coming in for the finishing blow with the shadow that he had on the rock, or the shadow on his body. It's very ominous, and I think he just nailed that. He nailed that panel. So good. I love it with the broken mammoth monk where he's knocked down and he's stunned. He's about to finish him off with a boulder, but here he uses a stone. He grabs a stone from the dirt as he's defeated and about to be crushed. And so the entire first page is a showing that that strength from Kai Trauvang is what persevered. Well, like strength is better in the first page. But you see here when he's about to to make the finishing blow and use his strength to lift this huge boulder to crush his foe, and the malice to kill him instead of just defeating him is just enough of a moment for him, for Mammoth Monk to use a stone, where he throws it and ricochets it off the rock and hits him in the eye and gains the advantage. And so it's a beautiful turning point in it, and a lesson. Very much like classic martial arts, where arrogance and using your strength and being a bully doesn't pay. Someone who's smarter and craftier can fuck your shit up. So that's where we're at right there. Boom. And he hits him with the crushing bull technique. Here, the head of the bull elephant, and shatters the panel. And then they go onward. And Kai Trauvang's master cuts his eyes out for the disgrace, while the other human Lash Tail ninjas watch. And Mammoth Monk continues to train. His master teaches him that you haven't defeated your enemy you've created. it created something worse. And so then that takes us into the issue 2 of Hayward Saints 8. This is the setup for that. This is a flashback into the pre-story from Mammoth Monk versus his nemesis. So that's what we're offering. Oh, here we got Rick back. Hey Rick, did you make it back? Yeah, he's still muted. Hold on a second. Well, yeah, so absolutely. I got to be up early in the AM. I know that. We usually do about 2 hours on these streams anyway. And so we're getting to the 15-minute warning. We may just end it right off. I may just wait until Rick comes back and then we'll call it. But we're going to definitely do more streams. Like, you're in the pencils folder, you said? Oh, yeah. That wasn't the pencils folder. No, that's the content folder. Right here, those were the inks, right? Hey, what's up?
I'm back, man. He wants to go.
Those are the pencils folder?
What pencils folder?
Oh, geez, yeah, the inks folder. Oh, geez, what the hell? Oh, all right. Yeah, he did those digital. They look like inks. That was a lot of fun. Jeez, man. All right, cool. I'm gonna check it out then. Well, we were showing some artwork, and Jesse told me I was in the pencils. I just saw that there was an inks folder too. So yeah, so it's even
nice.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
I remember when Jesse was inking that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the pencils folder and I was having fun. Yeah, that's sharp. All right, let's go in a little closer and then take a look and see what we got. Yeah, yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, that turned out great. Yeah, I like how that turned out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay. But Jesse's inking digitally now?
Yeah, he is.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's doing it for speed because he's doing so many books. But he does traditional too.
No, digital is awesome for speed.
Yeah, that turned out great. I like that. That's even better. Nice work, man. Oh, that turned out beautiful. And I like how when he went to the inks, what the expression with Mammoth Monk. That's beautiful. Yep, he rocked it. I like that design on the tusks too, on Gigaru for the master. I like that. Yeah, Mammoth eventually his tusks are gonna grow through the series, and that's what we're gonna have. I like the way that Joe drew those tusks. Those are tight. Yeah, that's good. Dig it. Yeah, that's going to be great. And that's just one of 8 characters, too, for Hayward Saints 8. So this is just a preview for the issue 2 that features that character. There's 8 characters there. Yeah, no, absolutely. Jesse, no, you rocked it. You're a very talented inker. You did a great job there. Like I said, I mean, you took my garbage and made it look good. So if you can make my work look good, then you can do anything.
That's it. That's all.
You're a fucking wizard.
He's the finisher. He comes in, finishes your stuff, catches all the you missed.
Catches all the fucking all the bullshit that I put on paper. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do this here. God, it's been a while. All right, so we're gonna go start here.
That's cool. Yeah, and when we were talking about it too, and with Jesse doing the traditional, like doing a dinosaur, like building off of it, doing a dragon built off of a dinosaur, something more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although fantasy dragons are fun, but doing something that kind of would make sense, almost like a mutation or a variant of a dinosaur.
Believe it or not, I find Vax hard to draw because Vax is reflective. So there's so much stuff I want to put in it, but then if you do, you ruin that effect. So I have to try to work it as little. I put these little tiny. I don't even know if you can see them. Camera. I put all these little tiny lines, hoping that they might work. But I mean, it's up to Jesse. I think last time when I inked it, I went fairly easy on it. I don't know. I'd have to look at the page.
Show those lines with the light. No, that was cool. No, I liked how you did that. Yeah, for that scene where he blinded Kerr. Yeah. He came out in broad daylight, like at noon, like he wasn't hiding. That was the point, was that he came in, and we showed the artwork. It's here on actually behind us. Everybody can see here. This scene was the setup for that. Actually, the artwork, when it was drawn in and designed that way to show Vax coming in broad daylight at high noon, but he was still a shadow. And it was to show, like, it was kind of foreshadowing in a way for the page when he was going to be blinded in broad daylight, rather than like most villains or enemies, things that are done at night, where shadow is their enemy. In a way, he used sunlight to blind him, and felt like the daylight, because his scales are reflective, is more of his. It's more to his strength.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that was very cool. I like that. I like how that turned out. I love how those panels came out. A lot of fun, Rick. A lot of fun. I love that series too. That's gonna be awesome.
I think it would be. It'd be awesome.
It's a good series.
Get the time and the money to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Money justifies that time. We can put that book right straight in people's hands. Absolutely. The script's done. All we need is a few bucks to do it. And we'll put that whole graphic novel right in your hands. You can read it. You can see how Kerr defeats not only dragons and monsters and celestial gods, but also passes the torch on. It's a beautiful story of hereditary duty and monster hunting and true evil, and even cross-dimensional, even in multi-dimensional, being able to see that throughout all of reality. See that that good perseveres, and that legacy can still survive. And so yeah, it's a very cool story about legacy, and about heroism, and about symbolism of heroism and it carrying on. And so yeah, it's a cool story. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
It's coming along. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's looking great, man. That's gonna be good. Yeah, I know Jesse was working too, and I know he penciled and inked a Kerr image, so it's cool to be able to do collaboration and work on it. And he's gonna take the drawings that you guys are doing and put them together and make a scene, and then have it colored up. And I want you to do the Grifter King image too.
Yeah, that one's next. I'm gonna do that one next.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's just for laughs, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for laughs. It's all good. But it's symbolic too. You know what I mean? This is a point right here in comics where lots of mainstream professionals would be happy to call independent people grifters of the industry. Would like to feel like they're more important and more talented, and that's not the case. I think there's amazing stories in independent, especially guys who have professional experience, who know how to make a story, and you get professional artwork. You can do some awesome things without that corporate finger up your ass. You do some very cool shit. You don't have anybody to answer to, and you know what a good story is, and our guys do. Our guys are legit collectors, and Jesse himself, and I talk with Mickey too, and all our core guys have legit collections. Like, they know the history of comics, and we love it. We want to honor it. So
yeah, you want that. I want those stories. I want to draw those stories. I want to read, because I'm gonna go find something good. And as soon as I get some money, I gotta start buying some of the Comicsgate books and start catching up. So I feel like I'm being left behind. Everybody's crowdfunding their stuff, and I'm broke at the moment.
Jesse said he sent the pencils. Did he send it to your Facebook? Is your Facebook open?
Yeah, he sent me the pencil. What, for the curve?
Do you want to share? Yeah, you want to share your screen? My Facebook isn't open right now. You see it at the bottom?
Hold on a second. Let's see if I can find the curve. Where is it? Where is it? All right, so how do I show you my screen? Okay, I see it. And which screen I'm gonna show you here?
Go ahead, I'm ready, sir. I'm ready to go.
All right, so I'll show you this one. That's the one right there. That's what he sent me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So what I did, if you can see on the paper, is just kind of shrunk, since Vax's head is pretty much a little bit bigger than Kirk. So what I did is I shrunk it enough to where the head would match the size, at least the size that I got in my head. And that's where I'm drawing the Vax.
Dig it. Yeah, that's cool, man. I like the way you did the hair, too.
Yeah, I like all this detail.
I like it, man. Oh, that's gonna be cool.
I still think it's a lot. So as the story goes, I probably started like this, and I would little by little just simplify it. So because you don't want to burn out. A lot of this stuff needs to go into like maybe, I don't know, more implied than actually all drawn. You know what I mean?
He's been working on his pencils a lot too lately. I know he's been doing a lot of drawing. Mostly, he's a professional inker. I mean, he inked Marvel's books and stuff, but he's working more on the pencil side of it. So this is an example of that. I dig it, dude.
A lot of this I would do implied. So like, instead of drawing all this, maybe if this was in shadow, draw this, leave this one light. So I'm talking about using the shadows for some of this detail. That way you don't burn out. Because even the inker, I mean, you can sit down and detail your stuff to death, and then have your inker hate you for it. Because 3 months later, he's still trying to draw those pages for you.
Yeah, the left hand that he's gonna have the axe that he said. He's still gonna add to it. He's working on it. So that's where he ended, and he's gonna draw that and redraw that hand around it. But yeah, that's gonna be a good scene when he gets done with it. He's playing around with it there. I can see he's gonna add more stuff. He said in the chat here too. He's still piecing it together, but it's gonna be cool. Yeah, Kurt is a fun character. He's gonna be awesome. We put a lot of work into the story too, so yeah, Kurt's gonna be great. But yeah, so absolutely, we want to. Yeah, we're probably gonna end the stream, Rick. Probably gonna call it a night. Do you have an early morning tomorrow? You have to work tomorrow or no?
I do. I gotta get up early enough. I want to keep working on this, and then I have to go to work. My main job.
Yeah, I have to wrap it up too. I have a job.
When I come back, and hopefully have this done before the weekend, so I can start working on yours.
We have to wrap it up because we have job. Yeah, and there's no rush on that because we have lots of time on the campaign. But I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be great. Griftergate 2020 is still in full swing. I love it that I get to be the king of grifters because nobody will own it. You know, Renfamous fucking call us all a bunch of fucking grifters. Call the and a lot of other people too. So, well, fuck it, man. If nobody will own it, I mean, the throne's right there. Why can't you just be the best? I'll be the best fucking grifter they've ever seen.
Nobody's claiming it. Take it. You call king of the tent. Nobody challenges it.
Yeah, that's right. This is like king of the dickheads.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be it. So I mean, if you go in and take the throne, then you just got it's better to be the at the king of the mountain of shit than to be the doormat at the bottom of the ladder. That's the way I look at it. So
yeah. All right, yeah. If you're gonna call it a night, I'm gonna work on this for a while and then I'm out.
All right, man. Hey, that sounds great. Hey, Rick, I appreciate your time, man. It's good. We're gonna do some more of these streams. We're both working, so we're always trying to get it to line up. But
you start growing. Like I said, you start with 1 viewer, 2 viewers, 3 viewers. Before you know it, 500,000.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure before I know it. I bet you I'll blink and tomorrow it'll be. Yeah. It's all good, man. Once you see the work, it's gonna be great. We just want to trade. We just want your money, and then we'll give you a book.
Yeah,
that's about as honest as it gets. I mean,
we can keep doing this and just write a book eventually. 2 years live streaming just for Jesse.
Yeah, we could, dude. We could do that. You never know. I'll scrape some change together. We'll just do it.
Yeah,
we'll just do it, and then it'll be finished. We can just show the whole book, and people can just buy it.
Yeah,
that's what happens if time isn't kind to it. Then that's what happens. Eventually, you just find a way. So that's the plan that I'm going through. So I'd like to launch it and get it to people now, but yeah.
At least
that's what we're gonna do. What's that?
At least we get people to see it.
We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna get hammered a lot on live streams. So.
Oh, well, I can't because then I start going off the lines.
Yeah. It's like it's OUI
on
paper.
Eventually, when you get rich, then you can just show up drunk like a musician and just do like a
I'm doing it ass backwards. I'm gonna come in hot.
Yeah, what are you gonna draw today? The universe, all in a dot, and it'll sell for $20,000 like that banana.
I'm an honest grifter. I'm gonna come in hammered right off the finish, right off the starting line, and then
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then I'll be a full-blown alcoholic when I hit the finish line. That's the plan.
Yeah. What's the point of making it big if you're not gonna have a good drug habit?
All the greats.
Yeah.
All the greats had just a strange fucking casserole of drugs and alcohol in their system. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
I'll
talk to you later.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming by on the stream.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it again.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Jesse. Thanks for coming by, brother.